listening to Ron Siegel's Home and Finance Radio Show, only on Financial News and Talk. Now live in studio, your host, local and national real estate expert and consumer advocate, Ron Siegel.
And hello again. Welcome to Ron Siegel Radio. This is the show with no real boundaries, as we discuss current events, financial markets, politics, sports, even poking fun at the rest of the media. This is the show that connects the dots of confusion delivered by conflicting media reports. We connect the dots so you know the actions you can take, how your family or business can benefit from current events. Most of all, thank you for joining me. Within every market, there are solutions as well as tremendous opportunities. You just need some trusted guidance. That is my message, and I will be delivering it every day. We have a very focused show. We only chat about items that affect the roof over your head, your bank account, and anything I feel would benefit you. And let me remind you, if you ever have any home or finance-related questions, I am the consumer advocate looking out for you. And you can reach out to me directly, 800-306-1990, 800-306-1990, or RonSiegelRadio.com. Just remember, that's the number you call anytime for assistance. When you call that number, it comes directly to me first. There are no operators standing by. I am it.
Quiet, numbskulls. I'm broadcasting.
While I do have a great team when it comes to developing a financing plan or plan to save you money, I personally work with you. Even if you don't have any needs today, save this number in your phone for future reference. 800-306-1990, 800-306-1990. And yes, of course, we are celebrating today on Ron Siegel Radio. We celebrate every day on Ron Siegel Radio. Beautiful day right here in Southern California. Beautiful day for celebrating. Let's see what we've got to celebrate today. Let's see. I think they're right here in front of me. Clean up your room day.
What's the big idea?
Lipid Day, Washington Day, Women's Checkup Day, and having beaten anorexia. I'm going with National Shrimp Day. Where do you get the best shrimp? What is your favorite shrimp? What kind? That's what I'm going to go with. We can also call that the trivia question for today, rsrtrivia.com, rsrtrivia.com. Use that one and put in the trivia name. Just call it shrimp. Yeah, shrimp. rsrtrivia.com, and put in the word shrimp there. You'll be in line for a $100 gift card. Let's see what the markets are doing today. Dow Jones now up 269 points. S&P 500 down just a fraction of a point. NASDAQ down 173 points. Let's see. According to Goldman Sachs, the big tech is the biggest threat to the S&P 500. Anybody surprised by that one, especially with some of the things we're seeing going on? Big tech thought they could get away with anything, and it's being proven out right now that you probably can't get away with everything that you want to get away with in this world. So big tech, they are in the crosshairs. Did you see what Starbucks had to say about big tech? They might be getting off of Facebook because there are people on Facebook that don't like them. Do I have a crying button on here? Yeah, I guess that wasn't what we were really looking for, but I guess, yes, crybabies at Starbucks. Crybabies at Starbucks. That's what we're looking at right there. But I guess that's just the way Starbucks wants to be right now. They don't like the idea. Cancel culture, canceling Starbucks. I guess is that the way we can put that one out there for them right now? They don't like that people don't like what they have to say. Moving right along, let's see what else we've got here in the news based on looking at what the markets are doing. So we've got oil up 12 cents a barrel. Yeah, we've got that pipeline problem again. And, we have a tech sabotage on the pipeline. So figure that one out. They might lose a lot of the pipeline capacity going from the Gulf of Mexico all the way up through the eastern seaboard. Won't have a lot of effect on us here, but here's where we will see it. No one's talking about that. You only hear it on Ron Siegel Radio. So where we're going to see that is now, in order to get the oil from the Gulf all the way through the eastern seaboard, they're going to actually have to start trucking it. Well, when they start trucking it, guess what? We create a shortage of trucks. We already had a shortage of trucks. We already had a shortage of drivers for the tankers. Well, now we're going to have even more of a shortage going on right there. So that's going to pose another problem. Now, do you really want me to share with you what we're seeing again in policy? Yeah, see, I'm going to share with you even more in a couple seconds here about what the Biden administration policies, how they're affecting us. And it's interesting. It's interesting to see what's happening to you and me just because of policy. I know because Facebook tells me that a president doesn't affect the price of gasoline. Right now, national average, $2.96.7 is the average for a gallon of gasoline. But let's take a look and see what's happening around us, or what are we paying for gasoline? That might be more important, right? Do you care? National average, nobody pays the national average. So if you would like, you could pay $2.61, but that would not be in Calizuela. That would be in Mississippi. Or you could pay $3.27. Again, not in Calizuela. That's Alaska. National average, $2.96.7. And if we can get a drum roll, please, we are paying in Calizuela right now, average for a gallon of unleaded gasoline, $4.10 per gallon. Ow! And if you compare that 1 year ago, the gallon of gasoline here in Calizuela, $2.76 a gallon. $2.76. Now we're at $4.10. It's at $1.35, $1.30 something a gallon more today. $1.34 a gallon more today than we paid 1 year ago. Now we know about the pipeline. We know about a lot of these other issues. We know about the cyber attack on the pipeline that was not really controlled by the United States. The XL pipeline, yes, that is a policy issue. So we can talk about the policy issues. We don't want to put blame where there is no blame to be placed, but maybe we need to look at infrastructure along some of these pipelines, right? I mean, oh yeah, we can't do that because we're worried about infrastructure to do some things that are not infrastructure, to build the internet or something along those lines. Unbelievable. Hey, let's move right along. I did pick up the president's schedule for last Thursday. I wasn't here, but I did see his schedule. Oh yeah, there's nothing on it. He left Washington, went down to Louisiana, made some remarks in Lake Charles, went over to New Orleans, made some remarks there. That's it. And they're talking about all of the money giveaway. That's what the president's out there trying to sell, all of the giveaways. Nothing's going to create jobs. Right now, that's government policy that is hurting us in the jobs market. And yeah, Friday we came out with a horrible jobs report. Well, if you can stay home and make roughly $18 an hour when you include all the benefits, or go to work and make even $15 an hour, $13 an hour, $11 an hour, whatever it is in your neighborhood, why would you do it? I like the idea. One of the senators came out with a thought. Let's take the excess money, that $300 a week that they're talking about. Let's take that. And how about taking that money and seeing if we can possibly send that money off to a incentive program to get a new job? Maybe you get that $300 a week extra for everybody that gets a new job that earns under $50,000 a year. Right? Get incentivized. That's what the government can do. They cannot create jobs. The government can incentivize or de-incentivize. And ironically enough, where did the president go to get his guidance? Yeah, I got a bad feeling about this. President and Mrs. Biden went down to Georgia to see Jimmy and Rosalind Carter. Yeah, Jimmy Carter, those of you that are historians, 1976 to 1980, destroyed the American economy. I wonder if that's where we're heading with President Biden. Not sure. And I told you a little bit last week, we did see that Donald Trump was banned from Facebook, Twitter, Instagram, still off there. Well, now we might see Starbucks joining that list of being off of those sites. Whenever you're going to start trying to suppress conversation, suppress speech, be careful. That's the whole issue. The progressives want that because they think it's all racist. I'm just throwing that out there for you. Moving right along, Governor DeSantis signed into law a new voting law. Major League Baseball, are you listening? Major League Baseball, are you listening? Yeah, so theirs is more stringent than Georgia. Increases restrictions on drop boxes. Yeah, that's the unsupervised places where people can drop off their ballots. They're allowing canvassers to go and print ballots and then take them out and get them filled in. Does that make sense to anybody? Can you say intimidation, boys and girls? And you see somebody filling out a ballot for somebody that you don't like and say, hey, you know something? All your neighbors, they're voting the other way. Do you really want to do that? It's supposed to be secret. It's supposed to be private. Just throw that out there for you. They've got to request a mail-in ballot. That's a good idea, I think. I voted absentee for years and years. I traveled for many, many years, so I wasn't around, and it is my duty to vote. So I did have to fill out the form saying that I was going to fill in an absentee ballot. They have my signature on file. They send me a ballot each time as I requested. Any problem with that? No, it's not the best way, but for those people that are traveling and can't go right to the ballot, that is the next best way. ID, and those people around the country have no problem with voter ID. Only those who want to cheat have a problem with voter ID. It is so simple to get an ID card nowadays. Not a big issue. Canada, they require a photo ID. Mexico, they require a photo ID. Are those racist countries? Are they suppressing the vote? According to certain groups, I guess they are. Reuters, they came out with a poll now. Reuters is not the most reliable of polls. Here again, you're not going to hear this from many people. In this poll, they went and talked to 45% Democrat, 38% Republican, 12% Independent. Why did they go 45% Democrat, 38% Republican? Now, I know that electoral college, you got the Democrat states have bigger populations, but, people are people. They get to vote the way they want to. But in any event, they decided that they wanted to overpoll the Democrats by 7%. I wonder what that's going to do to the poll, to the skewing of the results. And the question that they wanted to know was how do you feel about the election? Was it rigged? Was it fair? 57% of the over Democrat poll, 57%. Now remember, they were polled by 7% over, said that it was legitimate and accurate. I wonder what would happen if you would have taken that 7% off. And 43% of the poll, it was rigged or they don't know. So let's think about that. If you take 7 off of one and put portion of it at least onto the other, because you don't know how everybody would have voted, but you can guess in there a little bit. You can make some assumptions. Just throw that out there for you. Texas and Florida, red states, banning critical race theory, Washington making it required. What is critical race theory? It's basically talking about the idea that everything we do is based on race. Is that racist itself? It bans teaching that makes people feel discomfort or guilt. In Florida and Texas, they're going to ban teaching that makes people feel discomfort or guilt because of their race. Interesting right there. And moving down to the border before we move right along today, ICE officers made 2,500 arrests in April. 10,000 is what they were doing a month before the pandemic. And some are going to tell you that that's the problem right now. They're not making those arrests. They're too busy being babysitters and caregivers. So they're not arresting. And our increase of hard narcotics into the country is unbelievably growing. And some of the hard narcotics are even laced with fentanyl. Bad news. You're listening to Ron Siegel Radio, discussing your real estate, current events, and the financial markets. When we come back, we've got a great broadcast lined up for you today. We're going to chat about reasons you should be pre-approved for an equity buyout in a divorce. Why you should call your house, why you should sell your house now. All that and more. You can reach me anytime. Our off-air number, 800-306-1990, 800-306-1990, or RonSiegelRadio.com, Facebook.com/Ron Siegel Radio. On Twitter, at Ron Siegel. And if you miss any part of our broadcast, shame on you. But the replay is available, Ron Siegel 1 on YouTube. Ron Siegel, the number 1 on YouTube. Stay tuned. We'll be back in just a few.
Are you tired of paying rent? Are you tired of paying someone else's mortgage? Do you know qualified folks can potentially purchase a $500,000 home for less than $5,000 out of pocket? Ron Siegel can help qualified people purchase their own home at amazing interest rates. If you're tired of paying someone else's mortgage, reach out to Ron today at ronismylender.com. That's ronismylender.com. Licensed under NMLS 217037, Equal Housing Lender.
Blue Water Credit Repair is the industry leader in fixing bad credit. Did you know a 40-point increase in your credit score can save you $40,000 on a home loan and $4,000 on a car loan? You deserve good credit and peace of mind. Take the first step today and go to bluewatercredit.com and register for a free consultation from one of their credit repair experts. That's bluewatercredit.com.
Are you paying rent because you cannot afford to live in your dream home? Are you paying rent because you don't believe you have the down payment funds to purchase your own home? At Siegel Lending Team at ronismylender.com has up to $25,000 to help qualified people purchase their own home at amazing interest rates. Contact the Siegel Lending Team today at ronismylender.com. Again, ronismylender.com. Licensed under NMLS 217037. ronismylender.com.
Dreaming of your retirement does not include losing your house. However, due to today's lower stock market, higher medical bills, and taxes, many retirees face this very problem. This is why it is necessary that you, as a baby boomer considering retirement within the next 10 years, understand reverse mortgages and what one could do for you or your parents. A reverse mortgage could make it possible for you or your parents to travel, buy a second home, or start a new business. For more information about reverse mortgages, just call our off-air number at 1-800-306-1990. That's 1-800-306-1990, or visit realestatewithron.com and click the free workshop button.
Do you know a homeowner experiencing divorce? Do you know a real estate reference and the divorce decree could cost tens of thousands of dollars? A certified divorce mortgage planning and real estate report could save you thousands of dollars, and it's free from your local certified divorce lending professional. Reach out to Ron today. ronismylender.com. Again, ronismylender.com. Licensed under NMLS 217037, Equal Housing Lender.
You're listening to Ron Siegel's Home and Finance Show with local and national expert Ron Siegel. Now, here's Ron.
Welcome back to Ron Siegel Radio. Within every market, there are solutions as well as tremendous opportunities. You just need some trusted guidance. That is my message, and I will be delivering it every day on Ron Siegel Radio or anytime at 800-306-1990, 800-306-1990. The Mortgage Minute today being brought to you by our friends at Geneva Financial. When you're ready for that next home loan, Geneva's got the programs and the products. You just need to make the call, 800-306-1990, 800-306-1990. And yes, of course, Kendra is standing by to assist you. Dow Jones now up 282 points. NASDAQ is down 173 points. The S&P 500 up less than 1 point, just a fraction. 10-year Treasury flat. Mortgage-backed securities up 8 basis points. So we're watching all of those things for you. And we're checking out why are all of these things happening. That's the big issue. Well, we are on inflation watch. That's the big topic right now. There's a lot going on inflation watch. So consumer price index, the inflation report, purchase price index report, they're all coming out this week. Today's a little quiet, though, so we're going to be watching those. But think about what's going on in some of these areas, all about inflation. And we had a couple of numbers that I'll share with you about inflation because nobody's really talking about this right now. And again, a lot of this has to do with policy, right? And when we saw what happened with the XL pipeline, Well, gas prices went up. Gas affects everything. It's not just a tax on you and me, but it affects. We constantly tell you that when they talk about corporate taxes, corporations do not pay taxes; they collect them. A lot of people have trouble understanding the concept of collecting taxes versus paying them. Well, when I go to work every day, I get paid, and I have to send part of my money to the government. In fact, my employer sends it to the government. Yours probably does the same thing. When a corporation has to pay taxes, what do? They don't get paid, right? They have to earn money. They have to generate money. So what do? They increase the prices of their goods and services, or they get rid of people, or they cut expenses somehow. Maybe they can't give the next raise that they wanted to. So they have to collect that tax money because that's a fixed expense. It's an obligation that they have to send in. So they're going to raise something somewhere to raise that money. Generally, it's coming out of your pocket or mine. So let's take a look at what's happening. Pork chops, chicken breasts, up more than 10% over year. Eggs, cheddar cheese, 6%, fish, 5%. I already told you about gas prices. That was like 25% if I'm doing 30% if I'm doing the math in my head correctly. Lumber prices, rental prices, all up, right? So we're going to be watching all of that. Now let's think about what we're going to see on these reports that are coming out later in the week. So last year, the report for April, CPI, the Consumer Price Index for April, showed core of a negative 0.4%, negative 0.4. So if they are a negative 0.4, and just say we had 0.4 positive this year. So 0.4 is not a lot, right? So if you have 0.4 this from last month, April, comparing that to negative 0.4 the year before when the economy was shut down, well, that's going to add 0.8, 0.8, right? The negative 4 to 0.4 is 0.8. Okay, well, if you add that to the last reading of 1.6 year over year, that would bring us to around 2.4. That could spook the markets. Looking back at Friday's jobs report, we clearly saw a disappointing amount of job creation in April, 266,000 compared to the 1 million jobs expected. As we've said many times before, contributors, people making more on unemployment than they did working. So that's the comment right there. Steve Ratner tweeted an image showing what people are making in different areas. Median wage, if one is making regular wages, $20 on unemployment at $17.78. Okay, so do I want to go to work for $3 an hour? That's about $2.30. Do I want to go to work for $2.30? That's basically what that shows. If you make $2.30 more by going to work than staying home. And this is coming from the Labor of Statistics for the Commonwealth of Pennsylvania. Okay, so it's not like it's just a one-off issue. I'm throwing that out there. You can look at it for yourself and figure out what makes sense for you, for your family. It's just a matter of me telling you, hey, this is what's going on. You make the call for yourself. What do you think? And a lot of that has to do with, guess what? That's what's going to be coming up, and that's what you're going to hear, probably in the next 3 or 4 months when they start getting into the issue of what's happening in the world when it comes to the 2022 elections for the combination. California will have it here first for the governor, and then we're going to have it later on when we start talking about what's going on with the House of Representatives and Senate around the country. So all of that's going to be very, very closely watched. You're going to have to make your decisions, as will everybody else in our economy. So that is part of the Mortgage Minute, brought to you by our friends over at Geneva Financial. When you're ready for that next home loan, Geneva, they've got the programs and the products. You just need to make the call. We're going to take a quick break. A little early because we've got a long segment next one, because we're going to be talking about a lot of really, really interesting things. And one of the items we're going to talk about is why you should sell your house now. And the other one is reasons you should be pre-approved for an equity buyout in a divorce. Talk about that as well. You can reach me anytime off air, number 800-306-1990, 800-306-1990, or ronsiegelradio.com, facebook.com/Ron Siegel Radio. On Twitter at Ron Siegel. And if you miss any part of our broadcast, Ron Siegel 1 on YouTube. Ron Siegel, the numeral 1 on YouTube. Stay tuned. We'll be back in just a few.
Do you know a homeowner experiencing divorce? Do you know a real estate reference and the divorce decree could cost tens of thousands of dollars? A certified divorce mortgage planning and real estate report could save you thousands of dollars, and it's free from your local certified divorce lending professional. Reach out to Ron today. RonIsMyLender.com. Again, RonIsMyLender.com. Licensed under NMLS 217037, Equal Housing Lender.
Are you earning a safe, secure 10+% return on your investments? Is your credit score over 800? Are you living in the home of your dreams or simply where you think you can afford? If the answer to any of these questions is no, what are you doing about it? Text ATP to 79564. Complete a 3-minute complimentary survey, and the area trusted professionals of Ron Siegel Radio will reach out to you to develop a success strategy for you. Again, all you need to do is text ATP to 79564.
Are you paying rent because you think you cannot afford to live in your dream home? Are you renting because you don't believe that you have the down payment funds to purchase your own home? The Siegel lending team at RonIsMyLender.com has up to $25,000 to help qualified people purchase their own home at amazing interest rates. Contact the Siegel lending team today at RonIsMyLender.com. Again, RonIsMyLender.com, licensed under NMLS 217037. RonIsMyLender.com.
Are you currently renting a home? Do you like paying someone else's mortgage payment? Why not explore the options to purchase your own home? Can you imagine a 30-year fixed rate below 3.5% APR? This means with $10,500, you can purchase a $300,000 home and have a principal and interest payment of about $1,300 per month. What are you paying in rent? Does your family deserve the opportunity to take advantage of the current market? To learn more about these exciting opportunities, the Siegel Lending Team is standing by to speak with you. Call now, 1-800-306-1990. That's 1-800-306-1990. Or visit SiegelLendingTeam.com. That's SIEGEL LendingTeam.com. Rates subject to change without notice. Licensed to NMLS ID 217037, Equal Housing Lender. Not endorsed or sponsored by any government agency.
Are you tired of paying rent? Are you tired of paying someone else's mortgage? Do you know qualified folks can potentially purchase a $500,000 home for less than $5,000 out of pocket? Ron Siegel can help qualified people purchase their own home at amazing interest rates. If you're tired of paying someone else's mortgage, reach out to Ron today at RonIsMyLender.com. That's RonIsMyLender.com. Licensed under NMLS 217037, Equal Housing Lender.
You're listening to Ron Siegel's Home and Finance Show with local and national expert Ron Siegel. Now, here's Ron.
Welcome back to Ron Siegel Radio. Within every market, there are solutions as well as tremendous opportunities. You just need some trusted guidance. That is my message, and I will be delivering it every day on Ron Siegel Radio or anytime at 800-306-1990, 800-306-1990. The real-time real estate segment today being brought to you by the area trusted real estate professionals of Ron Siegel Radio. Text SLT Home Digest to 79564. Find your dream home before someone else does. The digest, it tells you exactly what the market believes about your property. It tells you exactly what the county recorder knows about your property. Best of all, it is compliments of Ron Siegel Radio, and you're going to get that information every single month from our team. They're going to send that off to you so you have all that data on a monthly basis. How do you make great decisions if you don't have great information? That's why we like to send that to you so that you'll know precisely what's going on in the marketplace. And in some instances, it might be that you just need to make some modifications, right? You might have to be going and getting a hold of the county recorder and saying, you know something, I've got 4 bedrooms in my house. I don't have 3. And it might be that they're going to give you some updates or help you out on that one. So that's just what we're looking right there. Why you should sell your house now is the question. No doubt that 2021 is the year of the seller when it comes to the housing market. If you're a homeowner thinking of moving to better suit your changing needs, now's the perfect time to do so. Low mortgage rates are in your favor when you're ready to purchase your dream home, and high buyer demand may give you the leverage you need to negotiate the best contract terms on the sale of your house. So we're going to look at what's driving this seller's advantage and why there's so much opportunity for homeowners. And if you are looking at us or watching us on RonSiegelRadio.tv, any of our social channels, or the ABC News and Talk, KMET AM 1490 video feed, you're seeing some of the charts that we're going to be sharing with you today. Number one, the National Association of Realtors, NAR, explains, quote, total housing inventory at the end of March amounted to 1.07 million units, up 3.9% from February's inventory. Unsold units sits at 2.1 months supply at the current sales pace, marginally up from February's 2.0 month supply and down from the 3.3 month supply recorded in March 2020. Even with a slight rise in the number of houses for sale this spring, inventory remains near an all-time low. And we've got that's the graph that's showing right now on the chart. Months inventory of homes for sale from 2011 through today. High buyer interest is creating a major imbalance between supply and demand. But as the small uptick in inventory shows, sellers are beginning to re-enter the market. Selling your house now enables you to take advantage of buyer demand and to get the most attention for your house. When we talk about My Team 53 is going to be a big concept for us in the next few months. My Team 53. Before more listings come to the market later this year, get that property sold. Number two, frequent bidding wars. That's what's going on there. And I'm going to get that chart showing up on the screen for you as well. As a result of the supply and demand imbalance, home buyers are entering bidding wars at an accelerating rate. NAR reports the average number of bids received on the most recently closed sales, 4.8 offers. We want to show you how to increase that because the more offers you get, the more money you get if it's done correctly. And if you're looking at the chart right now, you're going to see that the number from 2018, January 2018, was under 3. Now we're at 4.8. My Team 53 will get you a lot more offers, which means a lot more money to you. As buyers face increasingly tough competition while searching for homes to purchase, they're more likely to be flexible and generous in their negotiations. This gives a seller the opportunity to choose the best buyer for their needs and be selective about things like time to close, contingencies, renovations, and more. Working with your trusted agent is the best way to determine how to navigate the negotiation process when selling your home. Third, days on market. That's a biggie as well. And in today's market, sellers aren't waiting very long to find a buyer for their house. NAR, again, National Association of Realtors, reports, quote, properties typically remained on the market for 18 days in March, down from 20 days in February and from 29 days in March 2020. 83% of the homes sold in March 2021 were on the market for less than a month, and you can see that chart right there as well on our screens and on the video feeds. NAR Chief Economist Lawrence Yoon explains, quote, the sales for March would have been measurably higher had there been more inventory. Days on market are swift, multiple offers are prevalent, and buyer confidence is rising, unquote. Now, think about this one. We're showing on here the program My Team 53. Their whole focus is getting your check to you in 53 days. You decide today that you want to sell your house. 53 days from now, you get a check or a wire transfer or whatever. Right? 53 days. That's going to include all of the marketing. That's going to include the contract. That's going to include the financing for the buyer. 53 days until it's done. And they're talking about the house being on the market right now 18 days. So we're only asking for usually it takes about 30 days to get the contract, to get the financing in order. This is 53 days, selling, financing, close, check in hand, the whole 9 yards. Bottom line, if you're thinking about moving, I just shared with you 3 graphs clearly showing that it's a time to sell your house. And you might want to give me a call at 800-306-1990. Now, do I sell houses? You absolutely know the answer to that. No, I do not sell houses. I know the questions to ask. I know the people to talk to. I know the references to give you. But no, I don't sell houses. I will share with you knowledge. I'll show you with you some ideas on how to make it happen, how to get you the most possible money for your property. But no, I don't sell the houses. I do lead a lending team. That's what our friend Kendra does over for the team. That is the real-time real estate segment, again, brought to you by the area trusted real estate professionals of Ron Siegel Radio. Text SLT Home Digest to 79564. Find your dream home before someone else does. The Better Outcomes section for Ron Siegel Radio. My Better Outcomes section or segment being brought to you by mycdlp.com. Mycdlp.com. 4 reasons you should be pre-approved for an equity buyout in a divorce. Obtaining mortgage pre-approval to purchase a new home it's pretty much commonplace for many years. Pre-approval shows the home seller that the buyer has the financial strength to obtain mortgage financing to successfully complete the purchase transaction. The mortgage purchase pre-approval is one of the first steps required for home buyers. Should be the first step for a divorcing spouse before agreeing to refinance the marital home. Right? Oh, you're going to tell your spouse or future ex-spouse, hey, I'll refinance and I'll buy you out. But what if you can't? Equity buyout pre-approval should also be required by the spouse retaining the marital home. If new mortgage financing is required or refinance due to a divorce is required to remove the vacating spouse from the current mortgage, or when the in spouse needs to buy the equity ownership from the out spouse in the cash form. Number 1, an equity buyout pre-approval allows the certified divorce lending professional the ability to account for all income requirements, join an individual debt, and assets needed to be successful, and provide that financing. So, yeah, you need to have somebody that understands the divorce lending, not just lending, but divorce lending. Number 2, an equity buyout pre-approval can eliminate the fear of selling the home should mortgage financing not be obtainable by the in-spouse if ordered in the divorce settlement agreement. Number 3, an equity buyout pre-approval can prevent the need to return to litigation due to the inability to fulfill the requirements of the divorce settlement agreement. Number 4, an equity buyout pre-approval will provide all parties with a sense of confidence that there will be no issues obtaining mortgage financing once the divorce is final and alleviate any concerns of failure to execute. Again, the lending professional, the divorce lending professional, brings tremendous value to the team during the settlement process because of their stronger perspective of the entire divorce process. Their understanding of the intersection of family law, tax law, real estate, and mortgage financing truly separates that divorce lending professional from other mortgage professionals in the industry. We want you to have a successful divorce settlement, and we want to make sure that all parties are moving along as they desire. Contact me today for a copy of your free Divorcing Your Mortgage Homeowner Workbook. We've got those free for you. Again, Divorcing Your Mortgage Homeowner Workbook. All you have to do is give me a call at 800-306-1990, 800-306-1990. That is the Better Outcomes section for a segment. The Better Outcomes segment brought to you by mycdlp.com. You're listening to Ron Siegel Radio, discussing your real estate current events and the financial markets. When we come back, we're going to chat some more about real estate, why waiting to buy a home could cost you a small fortune. Ooh, I don't like that. We're going to talk about it. You can reach me anytime off air number 800-306-1990, 800-306-1990, or RonSiegelRadio.com, Facebook.com/Ron Siegel Radio. On Twitter at Ron Siegel, and if you miss any part of our broadcast, Ron Siegel 1 on YouTube. Ron Siegel, the number 1 on YouTube. Stay tuned. We'll be back in just a few.
Are you tired of paying rent? Are you tired of paying someone else's mortgage? Do you know qualified folks can potentially purchase a $500,000 home for less than $5,000 out of pocket? Ron Siegel can help qualified people purchase their own home at amazing interest rates. If you're tired of paying someone else's mortgage, reach out to Ron today at ronismylender.com. That's ronismylender.com. Licensed under NMLS 217037, Equal Housing Lender.
Is your credit score over 800? Are you living in the home of your dreams or simply where you think you can afford? Are you earning a safe, secure 10+% return on your investments? If the answer to any of these questions is no, what are you doing about it? Text ATP to 79564. Complete a 3-minute complimentary survey and the area trusted professionals of Ron Siegel Radio will reach out to you to develop a success strategy for you. Again, all you need to do is text ATP to 79564.
Do you have a goal of mortgage-free home ownership? What if your home was valued at $500,000? Are you aware that a free and clear home could be costing you $2,500 every month, $30,000 per year? The mortgage planners at the Siegel Lending Team would like to show you how you can own your home, generate tax-free income, and accumulate family wealth. You simply need to call Ron Siegel at 1-800-306-1990. That's 1-800-306-1990. By sending the team a copy of your most recent mortgage statement, the team will send you a no-obligation mortgage adoption plan. You be the judge if it's right for your family. Again, all you have to do is send the team a copy of your mortgage statement by email to map@ronsiegelradio.com or call today Ron Siegel, 1-800-306-1990. That's 1-800-306-1990. Rate subject to change without notice. Licensed by the California Department of Corporation and MLS 217037 and DCAL number 018694452.
Are you paying rent because you cannot afford to live in your dream home? Are you paying rent because you don't believe you have the down payment funds to purchase your own home? At Siegel Lending Team at ronismylender.com has up to $25,000 to help qualified people purchase their own home at amazing interest rates. Contact the Siegel Lending Team today at ronismylender.com. Again, ronismylender.com. Licensed under NMLS 217037. ronismylender.com.
Do you know a homeowner experiencing divorce? Do you know a real estate reference and the divorce decree could cost tens of thousands of dollars? A certified divorce mortgage planning and real estate report could save you thousands of dollars, and it's free from your local certified divorce lending professional. Reach out to Ron today. ronismylender.com. Again, ronismylender.com. Licensed under NMLS 217037, Equal Housing Lender.
You're listening to Ron Siegel's Home and Finance Show with local and national expert Ron Siegel. Now, here's Ron.
Welcome back to Ron Siegel Radio. Within every market, there are solutions as well as tremendous opportunities. You just need some trusted guidance. That is my message, and I will be delivering it every day on Ron Siegel Radio or anytime at 800-306-1990, 800-306-1990. The featured home segment today being brought to you by myfavoritelender.net. Featured home segment brought to you by myfavoritelender.net. Who's got the property? Where is the property? I'm sure we're going to find it here in any second. And we're going to put it right there on the screen for you if you're watching us on our social channels or ABC News and Talk AM 1490 4905 St. Andrews Avenue in Buena Park. John Perez has this listing. Single-story ranch-style home in one of the most desirable neighborhoods in Buena Park. Circular driveway, gated RV parking. Looks like a nice house. $789,000 is the price of the property. You can afford that, I'm sure. Maybe not. Hey, but we've got financing for you. FHA 3163 with 3.5% down. 20% down, 2704. 25% down strategically on a 30-year loan, 2416. Those are all principal and interest payments only. Could be adding mortgage insurance. We know we're going to have insurance and taxes always come around. And for those of you keeping score, that would be a 3.90 APR, 3.178 APR, 2.962 APR, and MLS 217037. Got a bunch of pictures right there on the screen. If you want to see the property, again, all you need to do is give a call to 800-306-1990. We'll put you in touch with John Perez, First Team Real Estate. He is the man with this property for us. That's the Favorite home segment. Easy for me to say. My favorite home segment brought to you by myfavoritelender.net. Monday morning, boy, you got tongue twisted on Monday. That's what we're going to call it, tongue twisted on Monday. Why you should wait to buy a home. Why waiting, still tongue twisted. Why waiting to buy a home could cost you a small fortune. Many people sitting on the fence trying to decide if now is the time to buy a home. Some are renters who have a long desire to become homeowners, but are unsure if buying right now makes sense. Others may be homeowners who are realizing that their current home no longer fits their changing needs. To determine if they should buy now or wait another year, they both need to ask two simple questions. 1, do I think home values will be higher a year from now? And 2, do I think mortgage rates will be higher a year from now? I think we could probably safely say, well, let's see. We're going to shed some light on it. Where will home prices be a year from now? If you average the most recent projections from the major industry forecasters, the expectation is home prices will increase by 7.7%. Let's take a look at a house that's valued today at, again, national numbers. I use national numbers on this, $325,000 as an example. If the buyer makes a 10% down payment, $32,500, they'll end up borrowing $292,500 for their mortgage. Applying the projected rate of home price appreciation, that same house will cost $350,000 next year. 10% down is $35,003. They'd have to borrow $315,022. Therefore, as a result of home prices alone, prospective buyer will have to put down an additional $2,500 and borrow an additional $22,000 just for waiting a year to make a decision. Where will mortgage rates be a year from now? Today, mortgage rates are hovering around 3%. However, most experts believe they'll rise as the economy continues to recover. Any increase in the mortgage rate will also increase a purchaser's cost. Here are the forecasts for the first quarter of 2022 from 4 major entities. Freddie Mac, 3.5%. Fannie Mae, 3.5%. National Association of Realtors, 3.5%. Mortgage Bankers Association, 3.9%. Projections average out to 3.6 among these 4 forecasts, a jump up from where they are today. What does it mean if home values and mortgage rates increase? Pretty simple. Buyer will pay a lot more in mortgage payments each month if both of these variables increase. Assuming a buyer purchases a $325,000 home, again, national number, this year with a 30-year fixed rate loan at 3% after making 10% down payment, monthly principal and interest payment would be $1,233. Now think about that. If you're in Southern Calizuela, that $325 might be $650. So you might have a $2,466 principal and interest. Same home 1 year from now could be $350,000, maybe more than $700,000 here in California. And the mortgage rate could be 3.6% based on the industry forecast mentioned. That monthly payment of principal and interest after putting down 10%, $1,432. The difference in monthly mortgage payments could be $199. That's $2,388 more per year. Ready for this one? $71,640 over the life of the loan. Ow! Add that to the approximate $25,000 a house with a similar value would build in home equity this year as a result of the home price appreciation. Total net worth increasing a purchaser could gain by buying this year nearly $100,000. I don't know about you, but I call $100,000 a lot of money. When asking if they should buy a home, many potential buyers think of the non-financial benefits of owning a home. When asking when to buy, the financial benefits make it clear that doing so now, very, very important. And again, I'm telling you, you got to start looking into these things right away because prices are not, regardless of what anybody wants to tell you, prices are not going down. I can't guarantee anything. But I'm going to tell you that prices are not going down. Why? Lumber prices are up massively. The amount of properties available for sale are not going up significantly. So if all of that is true, and it is, think about the concepts, think about the consequences of all of this. So that's just the whole issue right there. I'm just throwing that out there for you, giving you a little bit of information. Your Credit Matters segment brought to you by creditsanitizer.com. You have a credit report. It is wrong. What are you doing about it? Should you use a loan to pay your tax bill? No. Finding out that you owe taxes to the IRS can lead to a lot of stress, especially if you don't have the cash on hand to pay in full by the due date. The good news, got one more week figured out. May 17th, tax day this year, gives you a little bit more time to earn, save, and pay off as much of your taxes as you can before tax day. But as that deadline fast approaches, you may be wondering if it would be a smart move to pay off the remainder of your tax bill using borrowed funds. Using a loan to pay off your taxes could certainly help you pay on time, but would borrowing from a private lender cost you more or less than an IRS payment plan? And what other potential downsides need to be considered? Here's what you need to know. Cost of missing the tax deadline. There are a variety of penalties that you may be charged by the IRS if you don't pay your taxes on time. You'll also be charged interest on that unpaid amount. The two most common penalties related to missing the tax deadline are failure to file and failure to pay. So we're going to explain how these penalties are calculated as well as IRS interest charges. Failure to file penalty. This penalty is 5% of all taxes that are unpaid as of the tax filing due date. If you owe $3,000 in taxes, failing to file your return by tax day would result in a failure to file penalty of $150. The fee is charged monthly for up to 5 months or until a return is filed. It should be noted that the failure to file fee applies for all full month, even if you're less than 30 days late on filing your return. Also, once you're more than 60 days late, you'll be subject to a minimum late filing penalty. The penalty is the lesser of all the tax you owe, or $435. Late filing penalty is much heftier than the failure to pay penalty, which we'll look at. Additionally, every day that you wait to file your tax return increases your risk of becoming a victim of tax identity theft. So it's critical that you make every effort to file your return by the deadline, even if you're unable to pay your tax bill. Now, the failure to pay penalty. This penalty is generally 0.5% of all taxes that are unpaid as of the tax filing due date. Fee is charged monthly until the taxes are fully paid or until the charges reach 25% of the unpaid balance. Monthly fee is increased to 1%. 1% once 10 days have elapsed since the IRS has issued a final notice of intent to levy or seize property. Conversely, it's reduced to 0.25% for taxpayers who are enrolled in a long-term payment plan. This means that a $3,000 unpaid tax bill would result in a monthly failure to pay penalty, $15 if you weren't on any IRS payment plan or were on a short-term payment plan. If you later joined a long-term payment plan, the fee would drop to $750 a month. The interest rate that the IRS charges individuals on underpayments is short-term federal funds rate plus an additional 3%. So in March 2020, the Fed cut its target rate to 0%, 0 to 0.25%, in response to the COVID-19 crisis. A year later, rates are still around those lows. For this reason, the IRS interest rate is at rock bottom level of 3% for individuals. Large corporations, meanwhile, currently being charged an interest rate of 5%, and the interest rates are recalculated every quarter. Advantages of using a loan to pay your tax bill. The first reason that someone would choose to pay their taxes with a loan would be to avoid all of the penalties and interest charges that we mentioned. By using a loan to pay your taxes in full by May 17th, you won't have to worry about accruing any of the extra cost. Additionally, some people may feel more comfortable owing money to a private lender than to the IRS. The IRS has the legal right to garnish wages and or add liens to personal property after sending a few warning notices. Downside of using a loan to pay your taxes: borrowing to cover your taxes will help you steer clear of some IRS charges, but it's important to understand that loans are by no means free. They come with their own set of upfront on ongoing costs to consider. So those are just a few of the numbers for you to understand when you're thinking about that idea of using a loan or borrowing from the IRS. As always, we ask you, set that first radio preset button to come back here and join Ron Siegel Radio, where we only speak about items affecting your house and your bank account. Thanks to all of our sponsors. A big thanks to John and Sean who are engineering us today. And of course, a special thanks to you for spending a little bit of your day with us. That's all for Ron Siegel Radio. Again, if you have any questions or to meet any of our guests, call me anytime. 800-306-1990. 800-306-1990 or ronsiegelradio.com. And remember, make a lot of money so you can help a lot of people and have a lot of fun. Have a great day. We will talk to you next time on Ron Siegel Radio.
Tides that I tried to swim against.